Donovan Dave Smith, I hear you ask? Donovan Smith is a 1988 Manning's graduate. He hails from the cool hills of Darliston. He is a father, husband, and when I say father, I mean father of girls, restaurant owner, and entrepreneur. Donovan Dave Smith lives in the cool state of Georgia. Welcome to the True Blue Lounge, Donovan Smith. And as always, please like and subscribe. If you're too old and you don't know how to do it, get a youngster to show you. Subscribe to the channel so I can keep this up. Thank you. All right, so hi Donovan, how are you doing?
I am doing great. Thanks for
Good, good,
asking.
good. And for some reason I got the name Dave, so where did that come from?
Dave is a pet name, so Donna, you got that from Sheridan.
Uh-huh.
That's my name they gave me, just a little pet name. You know, in Jamaica, you have a little pet name,
Okay.
Dave. Hmm.
Seen. All right, so Dave, Donovan. So Donovan, where? Oh, you know what? You shouldn't mind. You used to the pet name, so I'll do it. I'll just go from one to
It doesn't.
another.
It
Dave
doesn't
easier, you
matter.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but people at school would know you as Donovan.
correct.
Donovan Smith. Okay. So, Mr. Smith, where in Westmoreland? What part of Westmoreland are you from?
I am from Darliston, in the hills of Darliston.
Okay. And as I ask everyone from Darliston the same question, do you mean Lennox Big Woods or you mean Darliston?
No, Darliston.
Okay. So, man board bus was your bus coming into school, yeah?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, Sheridan didn't, I don't think Sheridan understood my question. I'm going to ask you, don't you remember man board bus being late most? If you took the man board bus, you normally get to school late. You don't remember that?
Of course, I remember that. And Miss Anita would give me a hard time.
Okay. See, all right. Good. We're on the same
Same,
page then.
same as Miss Dobson at Unity.
Okay. So you're in Miss Dobson's lessons class. Okay.
That
Cool.
is correct.
All right. I was going to ask you about Unity. So you went to Unity for the whole, was it 4 years or 5 years we go Unity?
No, I didn't. I went to Unity at grade 5.
Okay. Just to pass the common entrance.
That is correct.
Because you knew all roads went through Unity School.
Every time.
Okay. So are you a good cook, Dave?
I'd like to think so.
You'd like to think so. Okay. What's your specialty if you're a cook?
Well, I like doing the snappers, red snappers, wherever way you want them, escovitch, brown stew, or steamed.
The fact that you, as a man, can talk about doing the fish three different ways tells me
Correct.
that you can cook. So, as a cook, when people cook fish for you, are you someone that is very easily pleased by someone else's cooking of the fish, or you know about the salt and acid and all them thing there, and if it not right, you will mention it.
If it's not right, Roger, I'm not going to eat it.
Okay. Cool. So, Dave, tell me some early memories of Unity School as far as you're concerned, apart from the beatings that you took from Miss Dobson.
Okay, early memories of Unity. I remember enjoying a marble game, enjoying, playing bouncy off the wall with elastic, enjoy playing stocky, playing football. Just fun. Unity for me was fun. I enjoyed the recess, fun. Unity was fun for me.
I know at least probably 50 people that went to first form with me that I know from Unity. Is that the same for you as well?
Same for me.
Okay. And people you even know and are in touch with now.
That is correct, man. I could go. I mean, I could go on and on. Matter of fact, I was in. We went to our 36th year high school reunion at Manning's last year, July, and run into a ton of friends. I mean, the Mylene McLeans, the Paul Coulters, Mar Simpson. I could go on and on. Just guys, we grew up from a tender age at Unity. We're in Miss Dobson's class. And some of these guys have gone on to be super successful. Mylene, she went to Harvard. Paul Coulters he's like a general in the army up here. And these are friends I grew up with.
Well, Miss Dobson never swing that leather for joke, So you have to, you either good or you're bad, but you're gonna do be something.
It was serious. I mean, you remember her going on top of the desk and beating you like she took her shoes
I was
off?
in Miss Cox's lessons class. It was a little bit different.
Lucky you.
Yeah,
She would
but
take
I
her
think
heels off and go on top of that desk and she would wear your back out with that cowhide.
so. As you're older now, how do you feel about it all?
You know, how I feel about it now, I think it was necessary. Back then, she was the wickedest thing ever. But today, I appreciate her just showing us or telling us, listen, you're created for greatness. You can do more.
See. No, that's good. That's good. I mean, it's really hard because sometimes in hindsight, we have this way where we think about it and we think, over time, there's a thing called the Overton window, wherein things that were acceptable in the 70s, early 80s, no, in a 2026, everybody's complaining, say, there's a problem. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah. Cool. So what's your drink of choice?
My drink of choice, I mean, I'll do a fruit juice. Um, I'm not big on alcohol. I'll do like a red wine the most. So a red wine.
Nice. So at home, do you do most of the cooking?
Actually, I don't. My wife is a great cook.
Okay.
So I do that at the restaurant, not at home.
Okay. So if your wife cooks some rice and you feel that it's a little bit fresh, and for those non-Jamaicans that are watching, meaning have enough salt, would you say something?
To her, no. I've just over the years I've learned how to be tactful. So
Okay.
I just get the salt and sprinkle a little salt on it.
All right, yeah, general. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
What about Mannings? Did you do any sports at Mannings?
Yeah, man. I did track and field.
Wait, you can't just say track and field, you have to talk to me, man.
Okay,
You do 400
100
meters?
meter. 100 meter. No, we're not doing 400. The
Okay, what
400
kind of time
was
you talk about? 10:5, 10:6. We depend.
no, my time. We did like 11. I did 11.5. That was my fastest time. So I
Okay,
wasn't
no,
like
not
Roy.
fifth form. Fifth form?
Huh? No,
Oh,
that was probably the third form.
okay. You weren't going champs.
No, no. That was
No.
for like Roy, Boogie. That was for like Paul Coulters, guys like that.
Okay. All right. So tell me something. So, I'm really grateful that you're blessing my forum here. So you graduated in 1988. Let me ask you, fifth form, where did you go for lunch? Who did you go to lunch for? I just want to make sure because it looks like not much change from my days. So who did you go to lunch with normally when you have the big Darliston money in your pocket? You know what I
The
mean?
big dog, the big Darliston money. So for lunch, my favorite little spot was right across from Hurry Hurry. There was a bakery over there. So we would go and I would go with guys like Wayne Murdoch, Oral, Oral Gooden, Nicholas Coot. Those were my buddies. So we would go and we'd buy a whole bread and just cut it in two, put a piece of cheese in the middle, and they would allow us to sit in the back on some boxes back there, and we would just tear that up.
And you're talking about nice warm bread, so when the butter go in
Hot,
it, the butter
it
melt.
melt.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. You see, if you tell your kids say you used to eat like that, them tell you say a lie, I tell you no.
they would. They could not. Yeah, they wouldn't believe that.
Well, remember, I was 6 years older, so
Okay.
times weren't so good. So when they have the cheese, I just say sauce of bread. Huh? It's just
No,
a
we
sauce
we
of
had the
bread.
cheese. Yeah.
All right. So so when you were in fifth form and you were thinking about your career, what are the sort of things you were thinking about that was, and I'm going to give you some time to think about it. So, from my memory, when I thought about my older brothers and careers, fifth form and after for them, it was like public health inspector, you would have done teacher or a fireman or something like that. For you, when you graduated in 88, what are the sort of things you aspired to, or what is it you wanted to do?
Okay. Quite honestly, it was just to leave home. That was it. So a lot of different things were running across our thoughts, but with the financial constraints, you're like, okay, what would be the easiest thing? So when I left high school at 88, I didn't do sixth form, so I started working with the Crooks brothers in Darliston doing woodwork. So I did that for probably a year. But Roger, I'm gonna tell you, that Christmas, it was one of the worst Christmas for me because I remember building a coffee table for a church sister. Just put it like that. And I was supposed to be paid. The money was supposed to come from England to pay for that coffee table. And that money didn't come for Christmas. So right then and there, I say, this is not looking good. So you talk about a career change right then and there. Like I have to do something. So I would get with my friends and we would talk about what are we gonna do. So the options were limited. So I remember a friend, Valley Namos, he's now an inspector of police in Mandeville. I remember we came together and we're like, we would join the force. But Roger, I was thinking of coming abroad and all that. So I went to the embassy and I remember not getting the visa. So I came back and I said to Valen, let's do this. But at that point, he was like, I already did the test and I'm waiting to be called. So, I was trying to play catch up. So I went off to Summit in Montego Bay, did the test. The cop over there, I remember him chasing me out because I had on a Rastafarian belt. He was interested. He said, get out of here. So I had to wait a couple of weeks, clean up my act, put on a proper belt, went back down there and did the exam, pass it. So that was the start of my
Right.
journey.
Yeah. So it's really funny when you said you had a Rasta belt, because
Yes,
we differentiate and discriminate amongst one another, bad, bad, bad. so
we do.
so what was it? So even in 88, 89, 90, just having a little Jaja belt was seen as being a rebel.
Being a rebel. And I'm telling you, I remember the cop who chased me because I had on a Rasta belt.
Wow, wow, wow. Now it could be just a Ghanaian belt or, one of them
Right.
African country have them three color now, so
Right.
yeah, wow. Cool, cool. So continue. So how did you get the visa in the end?
Well, I can give you the story leading up to that. So I went, did the test, passed that, and May 14, 1990, I went off to Kingston, well, to Twickenham Park in Spanish Town, and start my training as a police constable. So I did that for 8 years. Um, Sorry, I did that for 8 years. First duty station was Beaten Foot downtown. That was interesting as a little country boy. But luckily, I got on a tourist anti-harassment team, and I left Beatenfoot temporarily to Negril. I was stationed in Negril for about a year. Then I moved on to Montego Bay. Did some time in Montego Bay on the tourist anti-harassment program. Then at that point, I'd had enough of that program, so I went to Kingston to Protective Services, where I started working with former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Right Honorable PJ Patterson. So I was his personal bodyguard for a minute. And that was the last place I worked. I worked with other ministers of government, John Jr. I worked with Carl Miller. I worked with Katie Knight, Easton Douglas. I worked with a bunch of them. And then
Are all the names you name in they're all comrades, or
all
you?
comrades, yeah.
So you never work on the other side of the aisle at all.
No,
Why
never.
is that? Is it because of the 18 and a half years that they were in power? That's when you were doing that job?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure that, you're a police officer, wearing no green or no orange shirt. You know what I mean? There?
It was a job.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, understood, understood. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, continue. I'm jumping in. Sorry. My bad.
No, that's fine. I like the way it's flowing. So it, I was a cop for like 8 years. So I just trying to go through the different divisions I went through. So, but protective services was the last one I served at. Of course, in plain clothes. And then I migrated to New York, 97.
97. So what did you do in New York?
New York for a short minute, I was in sales. I worked for JC Penney selling suits. And then just for a few months, then I joined the Army,
The U.S. Army.
the US Army.
Why? When a young man love a gun, you see, man, then let it go. He leave Jamaica and he still wanting gun. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So what was that like as a Jamaican? Because it's not as though you were assimilated to the U.S. You didn't grow up here. Sorry, in the States. So what was it like
I,
being, in the army with all these people from America that culturally you and them don't really walk the same path or walked the same paths.
you said, what was it like?
Yeah, what was it like? Yeah, what was the assimilation like?
Well, it was different. Of course, the culture is different. But my reason for joining the Army was, for one, for college, two, to speed up my citizenship, and just probably for the experience. And it was a great stepping stone. I learned how to get along with other people. Um, Leadership, I'm big on leadership, and learning to get along with other people, and just leading people and see different form of leadership, how things was done. After action review, carrying out a mission, see how it was done, how successful it was, what we could do to change stuff, and so it was an interesting time.
This is really nice hearing this from you, Donovan, because when when I when I interact with managed school people, I'm always impressed with how disciplined and relatively noble and good citizens come out of that place. A lot of people want to do the right thing. I want
Right.
to ask you, as a Manning School alumni, what do you think it is that makes a high proportion of Manning's people want to be great people, or is it just an education thing?
I think, Roger. it's what was instilled in us. Matter of fact, Paul, Melanie, and a few of us were talking about it. It was drilled in us that we were created for greatness. Uh, the whole competitive nature of us just, I mean, competing every step of the way, wanting to be the best. I think that had something to do with the trend or where we end up in life.
Do you think it had anything to do with the fact that when we were 10, 9, 10, and 11 years old, our name had to be in the Gleaner or else?
It could be. So, there was a level of expectation. You felt good just knowing that you did well. You made your parents proud. The expectation was always so high. I know for me, my mother expected the best. And she would drill it in me. You're created for greatness.
I'm going to ask you a question. It's a funny one. I've never asked anyone this. But in Darliston where you live, you always had light and water at your home, yeah?
No, growing up, we had a tank, water. We got the water from there. We didn't have like a straight pipe running. The initial years, like when I was like 1 through probably 8, 9, we had a lamp, home sweet home. We had a lamp.
Yeah, I'm cursing that.
Yeah, yeah. So we didn't grow up with electricity. That came probably when I was in second, third form, thereabout.
You see, I believe, Donovan, that these are the things, when you look and you see people with electricity and water in their yard and flushing toilet, and they're playing with their opportunities, so to speak.
Right.
We are a little bit different because we've seen difference. Wow,
Correct.
that's amazing. That's amazing. So
Hmm.
so did someone have to file for you, or were you on a program of some sort?
Somebody had to file for me.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right. So, what are your hobbies, Donovan? Do you have any?
Okay. Of course. I'm one of the best domino player there is.
You are? Okay.
I am.
Do you have a good partner?
I can play with anybody, once that person can count.
Okay. So kick them under the table, code the game. You're just good like that.
And no, I mean, domino, keep it simple. You can count, you get your seven, and just, you know, coordinate your numbers. I mean, just look, good common sense. Play domino with good common sense. Pay attention. Put the phone down. I'm not going to play with somebody who has a phone in their hand. Can you focus for 30 minutes? Let's play this game. You should be able to tell me every domino that I play.
Okay.
You should be able to realize when I question you, there is a reason. I'm not going to question you unnecessarily.
So normally when you ask people how much I have in them hand, you're. It's not that you're buying time. You
No,
you really want to know.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I want
Cool.
to get your attention.
All right. So you play a lot of dominoes. What we are talking about? Couple of hours, 5 hours a week. What we are talking about?
No, 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 not anymore. Not since I have the restaurant. I don't play as much, but occasionally I'll just get with the guys and play some domino.
Okay. Cool. 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 Um, are you a religious man, and how does religion operate in your life, or how do you get by without religion if that's the case?
Okay, I'm Christian. Was born. We're Pentecostals, so we were born. Matter of fact, both my grandfathers were Pentecostal preachers. So my faith,
New Testament Church of God or just Pentecostal?
Pentecostal.
Go ahead, sir. Both your grandfathers.
Both my grandfathers are Pentecostal preachers, so we grew up in the church. So my faith is my faith is everything.
Okay, okay. So, as a young man, have you ever, did you ever question your faith?
No, because from an early age we were taught. I mean, was mandatory. Sunday school was mandatory. So we grew up. I mean, sometimes you're somewhat rebellious because not everybody went to church or whatever. But I wouldn't say, Roger, that I question it. We accepted it.
Okay, you accepted it. Okay, no, the only reason I ask is that the fact that your grandfathers were both
Preachers, okay.
preachers, I'm wondering if there was an option. How do you maneuver around people that don't have the great opportunity you have to have that lovely foundation in the Pentecostal church and the peace that it gives you? When you meet someone that's not of God, doesn't believe, how do you, what do you think? How do you engage with them? Do you ask them questions? Or is it, you do your thing, me do my thing?
Well, religion is such a sensitive matter. You don't want to. My approach is not knocking somebody over the head. Oh, well, if you don't do this, I believe what I believe, you're wrong. It's such a sensitive matter. And a matter of fact, one of the books I'm reading right now, Today Matters by John Maxwell, talks about it's such a sensitive matter that you should be cautious when you approach it. It's not badgering somebody over the head because you don't believe what I believe, you're wrong, you know. So I take that approach.
Okay. When we die, what do you think happens to us?
Um, there's a heaven and a hell, and you have to make that choice whether you're going to accept his teachings as a Christian, whether you're going to accept his teaching, and when you die, you go to heaven, or it's two choice.
Okay. So, Donovan, help me. Donovan, if Jesus died for our sins, why do I have to worry about anything? I'm all right. I should be able to get into heaven, drink honey and milk, and listen to the harps, just like you. Why do I have to
That's
do
what you.
anything extra? I'm asking. I don't know.
Okay. So you say he died for your sin. You accept that.
Yes. No, no, that's the argument.
Okay.
Whether you're a politician, you rub too much shoulder while you do that work, that work there for with the government people, it look like you operate with them. But it's all right, go on, me buy it, me
No.
get that. So the man they call Jesus supposedly died for our sins. So why do
Yeah.
I have to do anything now? I supposed to be able to drink rum and mind my business, and I still get to go to heaven. So I'm just asking.
Okay. Well, just like you get in a vehicle, Roger, it just don't take you somewhere. There's some actions that you have to take, correct?
Okay. So there's things I need to do.
There are
It's not
things
just
you
a
need
given.
to do. That's not a given.
Okay, okay. Do you want to be cremated or buried, or do you care?
Um, I'd like to be buried. Um, no, not a fire thing, not a burning thing. I'd like to be buried. My kids, my wife, they can just like when I go to the Darliston, I can go by my mom and my dad grave and sit there, sweep it off, have a moment with them. I'd like that to be done when I pass on.
Really?
Hmm.
I would like to be able to close my eyes
Hmm.
and think about the great times I had with loved ones
Okay.
here whether they're here or gone. I don't know. I don't know if in my mind I actually feel that that person is there. You know what I mean? Literally
Got
there.
you.
Yeah.
Got you.
But it's horses for courses. In Jamaica now, there's no space. Everyone wants to be buried, and there's no more burial ground. So, what do you think the
Okay.
people should be doing now?
And that's interesting. That's something we're gonna have to probably look further into.
Might need to dig real down and stack them up a little bit. Stack one upon the other. Maybe I don't know.
Mm,
It's a rough one.
right.
Man in school, the man that you are today, do you attribute a lot to man in school? Do you attribute a lot of what happened in your life and how you dealt with it to Unity School? Do you think it's just living in Jamaica? What is it that's sharpened you, do you think, if you're sharp?
If I'm sharp,
Well,
I'd
no,
like
no,
to
no.
think I'm.
Hey,
No,
no
I got you.
assumptions here.
I got you. I'd like to think I'm super sharp. I've made a few good choices, and I would credit everything to Manning's and Unity, my formative years. Just growing up with the people that I grew up with, the environment I was in, camaraderie, getting together with one common goal to succeed. I think that played a very important role in the man I am today. Yes.
So, I see on your finger, your ring finger, that you have a lovely wedding ring.
Yes, sir.
So, how long have you been married and children?
Yes, I have five daughters. Happily married for 15 years.
Lovely, lovely. And how you manage to get five girls? That's you have to marry them off. And also, it's not like when you have boys. Girls, you have to put your hand in your pocket and marry them off. You get that.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a business. In fact, I told you I made a few good choices. So
That's nice. That's
when that time come,
all right.
I'll be able to take care of it.
So, I have a pet subject because there's a lot of there's this thing about single mothers where everybody exalts them, pushes them on a pedestal. But what I want to know from you is, what is it that how do you teach your daughters to be women? All right, I'm going to rephrase this question again differently. When
Okay.
you think of your daughters, are you looking for them to have to all have husbands to provide and protect for them, or are you just looking to make sure that they're independent women to make their own choices? What are you grooming them for? Hey, a tough questions, they don't get no harder than this, so I saw me stay that up and so
That
buckle
that
up.
that's fine. So my girls, you see, Roger, sometimes you look at it that here people the narrative is being pushed. Oh, women are supposed to be just this independent and all of that. I somewhat disagree. Um, I think I groom the girls, carry themselves well. Um, my first two daughters have a college degree. Carry yourself well, and hopefully, if you find the right husband, go ahead, get married, bear me some nice grandkids. So I
I
believe
like I
in
like this,
balance.
but nobody probably asked you this in a long time, So, but
No,
I like the way you just pause and say, "Boy, Roger asked me a question when I don't even want to wrap my head around yet." but
yeah,
um, but it's nice. It's nice.
Yes, that's fine, Roger.
You
Like,
know, being a great dad, Donovan. It's important when you have girl children, which is
Mhm.
beautiful. Just as kids beautiful, but the fact that they can see you in a you said a happy marriage. What
Right.
is nice is when these girls see that they
I
know.
try to show them what right looks like.
That's right. I believe fathers should take their daughters on dates just
Okay.
to sit them down in a nice restaurant, make them, you know what I mean? Dress
Yeah.
up, um, make sure they're attentive, they see what's going on. And, so when they find someone,
Hmm.
they know what the bar is. They know,
Correct.
and I'm not going to use the word worth, but they know what, as far as treatment's concerned, what it is they should be expecting. Same way
You're
my
so
dad
correct.
treated me. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Cool. So, tell me, so how do you get to Savannah, Georgia? Because when I think of Savannah, and this is Roger, I
Hmm.
think of it in not necessarily the suburbs, but I think it's kind of outside. So, how far outside Atlanta is Savannah?
It's about three. It's about 3 hours outside of Atlanta.
Is that north?
Um, no, more south. So
Yeah.
how did I get to Savannah? So when I joined the military in New York, the option was there. Like after I got my job, whatnot, they were like, "Is there somewhere you'd like to be?" So I told them if there's somewhere where it's warm and there's a beach. So they
Oh,
sent me. That's where Savannah choice came up. Never heard of it, but they say
so
Savannah is
you had it like
beautiful.
that you could dictate. If I didn't mean you tell that to as a Minnesota, may I send you going? How you mean you on beach?
Beach, that was my option. Beach, good weather, and they say Savannah. And I'm happy when I came to Savannah for the first time because I mean Savannah had I mean stunning. You have never been here, right?
No, 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 just Atlanta.
Oh my God, it's beautiful, man. Stunning architecture. You know, you can do a trolley tour. You have a Forsyth Park. It's a duplicate of a park in France. You know, you can do a bus tour. It's beautiful.
Hey, them pay you to be part of the marketing and tourism thing, or that's just you loving the city that you live in?
You should be able to talk about where you live.
Nice, nice, nice. So Donovan, when you're having a real hard time in your life,
Hmm.
because we've all been through things, whether it's financial, health wise, relationship wise, how do you cope with it? What do you do to deal with points in your life that you're really low? How do you overcome?
Okay. Over the years, Raj, I developed PMA, positive mental attitude. So, as the leader of my house, head of the family, when those time come, I mean, self-talk. I remind myself, you were created for greatness. I'll I taught myself through it. You know, positive, positive. You see, I've lived with one thing. I'd rather be positive and be wrong than to be negative and be right. So this is something that I practice over the years, and yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. That's amazing. So, a lot of people in your situation would say they pray a lot and fast a lot, but yours is just pure discipline,
Discipline,
personal
yeah.
discipline.
Correct.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Now, I did ask you what happens to us when we die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I didn't think I got the answer I was looking for. So, a man that doesn't believe in any of the gods, What happens to him?
That's an interesting question. Raja, I think about what happens to me, and based on what I learned, I made the choices because where I want to go. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of focus. As you remember, I said I don't badger somebody on the head because I think it boiled down to choice.
So you're big on personal responsibility and
Cor-
accountability.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
And I
Do you
did.
do
I
you do
did.
you do you, do you insist that your kids are accountable and responsible too?
I teach them. Like the girls know that every year, January, you're right. Short term goals, long term goals, and go for them. And I kind of drill that in them. Write your goals down, because so many people, Roger, live without goals. They just they just wake up and just live. I like to write goals. I like to set goals. I said to somebody the other day, what would it be like if you went to a game and the guys were just dribbling up and down the court without a basket? That's so ludicrous. You have to set goals in life.
That's a good point. Good point. Good point. So, do you think a lot of this comes from your military background, this discipline? Because you sound more disciplined than most, you know.
Well, yes, Roger. Yes.
The military. Oh.
Discipline, when I went to a police training academy, I remember it was drill. Discipline is a means whereby a person exercises or is made to exercise or restrain control of your conduct, or in the widest sense, is the carrying out of a duty with the knowledge that the act done is in conformity with the principles that have been laid out. So,
You see,
yes,
you see how you say that little sentence verbatim. So we
yes,
used to SWAT physics in a first, second, and third form, you know.
right.
Yeah,
Or
same
when you
way, you
are,
know.
or when you're there in front of Miss Dobson, I
Okay,
say
okay, yeah, same way, you know.
the
You know,
timetable.
if I was to tell you the amount of things that I have in my head from school, research, things like that's a man's thing, or you hear
Yeah,
something good, let it go.
nah, let
Yeah,
it go.
yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. If you could go back, Donovan, and speak to a 15, 16-year-old rude boy, I want to be twin grandfather, them a pastor, about him out run with Jaja belt. What would you say to that young man? And
Mhm. Okay.
I use the word Jaja belt just to make you know that I know what it was like for you to be a churchman, but you wear them the belt there.
All right. I guess that was my little rebellious side. What would I say to a youngster right now? Um, I would let him know it's okay. It's okay to be rebellious some, but the quicker he find what he want to do in life and be focused, the quicker he'll achieve success or achieve his goals.
All right. So, Donovan, when you look at yourself now as a business owner, let me go back a little bit. How did you get into being the entrepreneur that you are?
Um, I look at people who are in life, or people, should I put this? People who are in life where I wanted to be, and I ask questions, and I realize I was falling short. So, Roger, if you see a turtle on a fence post, you got help getting there. That was me. I realized some of the things I weren't taught. And for me to succeed, I had to do something different. So I started reading good books. And then when I get a minute around successful people, I'd ask and I would write down the answers that they gave me. And I start the application, just applying stuff, doing stuff to be a better person.
Wow, that's that's um that's discipline. Did you have a mentor?
Yes.
Okay. So no, that's good. A lot of people don't realize. Sometimes it's good to have two or three mentors. So,
No,
s-
that's important. Somebody to
so
kind of guide you.
yeah. So what kind of restaurant? Sorry, not to get too much in your business. So tell me what you can. So you mentioned earlier that you had a restaurant. What kind of restaurant it is? Where in Savannah is it? What is the cuisine? How is the what is the makeup of your clientele? Talk to me, man.
All right, great.
Don't be shy.
So
You're in good company. Don't be shy, man. Come on.
now my shy WWE is a gun, Roger.
Oh,
So we own Sweet Spice Caribbean restaurant in Savannah. It's located at 5515 Waters Avenue. That's 5515 Waters Avenue in Savannah, Georgia. We have a takeout. Most of our business, a high percentage of our business is takeout. We utilize the different platforms like DoorDash and all that.
can keep your thought there? Did the takeout start just after COVID, or was it designed to be like that? Or after COVID, you realize, wait, these people I ordered the food, I'm not coming in complaining and I was nasty up my restaurant. Let me focus on where the money I sorry. Go ahead, but that's the question I want to ask you. And you hear it
All
loud
right.
and clear.
And I'll have an answer for you. So, COVID changed everything. And you have to learn as a business owner when you can, what's the word I'm looking for? When you can pivot. Yes. After COVID, things change. So, a matter of fact, I had a restaurant that we seat about 300 at the time. That one was in Pula. I sold that one. We had a full bar and restaurant in the Pula area. That's an adjoining town to Savannah. After COVID, I closed that one and started focusing on the smaller restaurant that did way more volume, takeout volume. In addition to that Waters location, at one point I had 5 food trucks. We had a food commissary as well where I would prepare,
Are we talking about Caribbean food or what kind of food?
Caribbean food, Caribbean
Okay,
food, Caribbean food. So 5 food truck, a commissary. So on any given day, you can enjoy. I like to say, I share our culture with you.
what are your top five? What are the top five things on your menu? What sell wholly? What are people coming to your restaurant for?
And that's easy. Oxtails, jerk chicken, curry goat, and seafood.
And Savannah has a decent amount of people that like that kind of food.
Absolutely. When I started, we had two other restaurants. Today we have about 10 Caribbean restaurants in the area.
What made you go from having the mobile food trucks and going to brick and mortar? And why do you think that was the way to go?
As I mentioned that word there, pivot. Have to test the pulse of your business and see. As Wayne Gretzky, I don't know if you
Yeah,
right,
we know
at
Wayne.
least that,
Yeah.
yeah. But It's not where the ball is, it's where the ball is going. And you have to be able to see where it's going. And I saw where food trucks were going. So I invested in some. And that was another good decision. One of the few good decisions that I made.
Okay. If you can go back and make some changes, what pivotal change would you make in your life, and what stage do you think you would have made it? And I'm only asking you these deep questions, Donovan, is, what me and you don't realize is, people that may watch this, you know, they are thinking of, because everybody, life is a route,
Correct.
and people want to know what make you turn left or what make you turn right, what
And
make you
that's
jump
all
or why
right.
did you lay down, so.
Okay. And then, I'm glad you're using your platform to do this, because if we can help somebody to avoid making the mistakes that we made way back, we can inspire somebody. We feel like the job is being done.
What made you go from food trucks and pivot to brick and mortar? Because every time I watch programs like Shark Tank and all them things, I'm always listening to these entrepreneurs, and I always want to know what makes you make that decision, knowing that a brick and mortar causes, the cost is very high and the margin may not be as lucrative as owning trucks.
Okay. So when I started with my first food truck, we were growing really fast. And I could not be everywhere. So we decided to get a brick and mortar so that people could find us. So I wouldn't be leaving anything on the table then. So people could find us.
And that was it. That was mainly it. Just people could
That
find you.
people could find me.
Okay. I'll dig a little bit. So, cost wise, how did you? So the cost did go up having a brick and mortar, but it
Correct.
made up for itself because people can't find you and they know where to go.
That is correct.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, hey, I got one more question for you. One more, and it's going to be a double edge. Number one is, who would you like me to have a chat with next? Think about that. My next question is, when you think of the future, are you positive? Are you upbeat?
I am. You remember me saying earlier, I'd rather be positive and be wrong than to be negative and be
Yes,
right.
I remember that.
Yes, I'm quite optimistic about the future. May not seems, even today with the economy and whatnot, it may not seem to be going the way people want it to go or whatever, but I'm quite optimistic. Um, we're going to do well. Things are going to rise, and we're going to do great.
Nice, nice.
This is still one of the greatest countries on earth. We're still going to do well.
I tell everyone that bashes where they are and the administration. I always say to them, "You have choices. If you
Correct.
don't like it, you have choices." You know.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. So, who would be a good person for me to have a chat with in your batch?
In my batch, we have a ton of successful people in our batch, man. You have a Paul Coulter's doing, I mean, blazing in the military. You have a Melaine McLean. She's a doctor. You have Devin Rutherford. He's a pastor. My batch have a bunch of guys. I just have to reach out to them and see if they want to
Nice,
share. Yeah.
nice. What's really good is that Manning's is was a beautiful um, institution. So was Unity. Do you
Yes.
remember any teacher? And I ask this question not because I want to big up the teachers, but sometimes some of these teachers don't realize that they were the turning point. Just something
Mm.
they say. Because it can go both ways. If you don't have a strong foundation at home, a
Hmm.
teacher can break you.
Absolutely.
And the inverse is true. You can come to school and a teacher will look at you and pull you aside and say, Donovan, I know you don't think you're doing well or you don't think that you're valuable, but I'm seeing you the work you're putting in and I'm seeing the effort and I just want to, that encouragement. Was there anyone in Manning's Unity or it's just collective for you?
Um, I guess okay. In Unity or Mannings, I I remember in Unity, that fear factor from Miss Dobson. I mean, I just wanted to do the right thing, and I guess that was a fear factor. I'm glad for the education and everything, but it wasn't until I got to Kingston, and I guess at that point I was searching, and then I saw these politicians, the way they live, the way they spoke, Roger, the way they carried themselves, you know, speaking boldly, uprightly, the way they walk. That was what did it for me as a bodyguard.
Wow. That's it's really nice to hear. Really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Once again, Donovan, I'm really grateful that you were able to come in and tell your story. Um, I have a there's a guy called Steve McDonald. I think
Uh-huh.
he would be an '83 grad,
Okay.
and I'm asking one more question for him. Are you part of any of these Manning's alumni associations? Any of them at all?
Well, no, I just the 88 group or 88 group with the Evan hackers and all of that. I'll get with them, and
Did you say
with
Evan
Dorothy.
Hacker? You mean the hacker
Yes,
I know?
he's in my Evan Hacker is a 88.
The Catholic Evan Hacker?
Correct. Accountant.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, okay. I know Evan, man. We're in
Mhm.
the same, we're in a man in school chat group where we debate lovely subjects. So I'm very well aware of Mr. Hacker. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Nice, nice, nice.
Hacker is a 88. Periodically we talk, talk numbers and stuff and
Nice, nice.
stuff like that.
Okay, okay. Um, why did you decide to open your own restaurant? Did you ever work
Okay.
in a restaurant? And
Um,
it's really funny. I'm
that
realizing now that I'm talking to you, I'm thinking of these things. I'm going to ask you anyway
that's
while we
fine.
have some time. So,
That's cool. Um, working a 9 to 5 was never my thing. Um, I have the entrepreneurial spirit. I like to own. When you read a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, you know, it it spoke to me. Business ownership is where it's at. And
yes.
you look at the different quadrants, I like to win. I like to win.
Nice, nice. That's good. Being around so many comrades yourself, and to see you as that capitalist now, it's a good look. Hey, I just fun. No say nothing. No say nothing. I just some. Hey, I've
I
been
would
giving
I
trouble
would dignify with a response.
I've been giving trouble from lessons class Unity till
Yeah,
me a all old grey man now. So
yeah.
I saw you go, yeah.
Well, think about it. Um, you grew up in that system, and you didn't have much of a choice, really. You just follow what was being taught then, and everything. But it's up to you as you get older to kind of look and see, okay, do I continue to do this or do that or whatever? So, yeah,
Hey,
that's pretty much it
if you
was.
keep on moving your camera, you know, people will think say, although this man successfully look like he had his shakes, you know. All
Okay.
right, no, no, all good, all good, all good.
No, no, no.
Hey, Dave. You know, I'm really glad that you spent the time to have a chat with me, man. You know, we there's not much people. We come from a crowd of people that don't share a lot, and when I say share, I mean ourselves. You know,
I know that's true. And
we
thanks for inviting me on this platform to do that.
remember. You know, we come from somewhere
Because
where your mother say,
if I can,
don't
go ahead.
your mother said, don't lend Dave your book, you know, because you will get dunce. Then we go susu gunzu your book and we dunce you. That's where we come from, you know. Remember
Right,
that.
right,
And
right.
Roger will keep on talking about it because that's where I come from. So as
No,
we
and if
evolve, we are get better.
correct, correct. And if you can help one person, because I was that little country boy without not a lot of self-image, and I mean, kids must be seen and not be heard, and all this, and you grew up that way. And when I moved off to Kingston, it was a whole different ball game. And I look and I learned from some great men, and I knew wrong from right, and it was interesting, how to kind of square yourself up.
When did you start speaking so eloquently, Mr. Smith?
After many sessions in our parliament, I mean, remember now, as I tell you, it was life changing just moving to Kingston. You get to see, because growing up in Darliston, you think Labour right time, PNP not like each other. And when I got around these politicians, and that's all, you know, I'm asking for, and how's the wife doing? And I'm like, huh? And when during Christmas events, they would go to each other's house or parties or whatever, and just to see them corresponding with each other, I was shocked.
On both
Like,
sides of the aisle?
on both sides of the aisle, how close these guys were.
Nice, nice. That's good. That's
Roger,
good.
it blew me. Like, so, it didn't take me long to realize,
I may fling big stone after one another across the street.
correct. Yes, and these guys are friends.
Yeah, see,
And
see.
then, even to go, pick their kids up and being around them and see the way they carry themselves, the way they decorate their homes, the way they speak, it was an eye opener for me. I look a country boy. Yes.
Scene, scene. Nice, nice. Thank you, sir. And honestly, I'd love to find a forum where me, you, people like Donna can get on. Even Evan, if he was able to show his face, you know. 'Cause Evan is a big keyboard bandit, you know, but he now put his face out of front, you know.
Yeah. I didn't know you knew each other.
I'm a virgin, man. I'm a virgin. I'm a WhatsApp virgin. I'm a WhatsApp virgin.
Okay,
Never met
okay.
him before, but we spar a lot because
Gotcha.
Roger is the kind of guy. If you say jump, me say sit down. If you say black, me say white. I just love the
Gotcha.
engagement, and
Gotcha.
he's a Catholic, God fearing man, and I have a lot of questions, so we get on
Gotcha.
well. Yeah.
I hear that.
All right. So respect, man, and thank you for being the man that you are, and growing five beautiful, accountable daughters. And I wish you all the luck. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Roger. Wish you luck on your platform.
No man, respect, respect. Cool, cool.
Have a good one.